Now, for these two lessons, what I want you to do is this. Whether you've been following along or whether or not you're picking this up from the beginning, go to the downloads and download the files that are there. You're going to download a file that's going to look like this. Lesson 15. Now, if you double click on this, you're going to notice that you have a series of folders. I'm going to work with this Flash Gallery and I'm going to work with Fat Gallery Pics. I need to take both these folders and I need to copy them. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to paste them into the RC Photography website root folder. Now we have Fat Gallery Pics and we have Flash Gallery in there. Now, if you've been doing this from the very beginning, then you don't have to worry about putting it in these folders. All you need to do is take these two folders that are here and paste them into the website root folder that you've been using and working on. So, that said, I'm going to go into Dreamweaver, and I'll just move this out of the way. Let's come back in here. I'm going to go to my Files section, and then I'll just hit refresh just to be on the safe side, and make sure that I have Flash Gallery, and make sure that I have Fat Gallery. Now, the Fat Gallery is a web widget, and it's something that's new inside of Dreamweaver CS4 that offers the opportunity to be able to extend the albums that you work with in Dreamweaver, just doing something very, very quickly. Let me show you what I mean. If you click right here in this one section, you can click on the drop down, and inside of there you can go ahead and click on Browse for Web Widgets. Clicking on the Browse for Web Widgets is going to bring you to the Adobe site that'll show you all of these different types of plugins that you can install on Dreamweaver to be able to make it do stuff. And there's a variety of different things. I mean, here you have Dig Widget, you have Google Gadgets, you have the Thickbox Gallery, and you have YUI Tooltips. The one that I'm looking for is on page 2. I'm going to click on page 2, and I like this calendar. I think that's great. But the one that I'm looking for is down here. That's Ken Burns slideshow. I dig that. Sort table. Nope. Fat Fusion slideshow. It gives you a simple slideshow for you to be able to put on your website. Now, you need to download this file. And in order for you to download this file, you need to be a member. So you need to create an Adobe account. And once you're in, you'll notice that it downloads the MXP file. Double click on that. And that's going to start the Adobe Extensions Manager, which is the program that manages all the plugins that you use for the Creative Suite. When you click on Accept, it'll go ahead and it'll install it. Now, for me, I'm going to click on Accept, and it's going to say that you already have it installed and you want to overwrite it. That's fine by me. I'm going to install the extension, and I'm good to go. Now, what you have to do is you'd have to restart Dreamweaver in order for it to be able to work. I'm just going to quit. I'm going to close out of this. But spend some time working through this section here, because there's a lot of information, there's a lot of different types of tools that you can use to be able to make stuff happen. So it's a good thing. Now, once we have all of this stuff set up, we'll go ahead and we're going to run a slideshow gallery, a fast slideshow gallery. Now, I'll close this out, and I'm going to close out this page, and I'm going to come over here to Dreamweaver, and I'll go to my files, and inside of my files, I'm going to create a new folder, and I'm going to call it FAT, P-H-A-T. Inside of there, I'm going to make a new file called index.htm. Now, from there, I'll just go ahead and double-click. Notice that it's empty. And what I'll do from there is you'll notice that I have a section called Fat Fusion here in the corner. Click on Fat Fusion. It drops something right in the center. And I'm just going to go File, Save. It says, hey, look, there's a whole bunch of stuff in here that you can add to this. Can you add this? Sure. Click OK. There we go. Done. That's it. Now take a look. I'm going to preview this in Safari. Not bad. The only problem is, well, they're not your pictures. So we need to be able to fix that. I'm going to close this. I'm going to come back over here, and I'm going to go to the Files section. Inside of that Fat Gallery, it throws a file called Images, CSS files, and the index file that you need. Now remember that Fat Gallery that we put in? Those Fat Gallery pics I'm going to drag into that Fat directory. So they're all contained into that one directory. And what I've done for that, let me just go ahead and blow this out here real quick to show you. You have to be very specific about what you create when you want to put stuff inside of that Fat Fusion gallery. Your big images should really be around 450 by 299. And your thumbnails should be by 100 by 67. So that's what these pictures were that I was uploading. Obviously in Photoshop what you would do is you would create an action that does these for you, that does a large picture at 450 by whatever it is that you would want it to be. In this case I'm saying 450 by 300 is probably pretty good, and you would make your thumbnail 100 by 67. Once you have it set, take that folder and put that folder into Dreamweaver, kind of like what we just did here. Once you've done that, here's my Fat Gallery folder. And really, all you have to do at this point is just expand this. All right, let's pull this out. And here's our stuff. We're going to highlight the first picture. There's the source for the original image, and there's the source for the thumbnails right here. So I'll just go ahead and grab my thumbnail source, point it to pick one thumb, point the link to the image. Go to the second one, take the source to number 2 thumb, take the link to the image. And that's it. That's what I like about it. It's kind of cool in that all you have to do is just put in some code, hit save, and now it'll go ahead and it'll take all of this stuff and just do it for you. I'm a big fan of not having to code if I don't have to. Let's go ahead and grab the thumb for 5. We'll grab the link, we'll put it here. And then, now, I don't want to do 6, and I'm going to show you why I don't want to do 6. I kept 6 as an example of what can happen if you go wrong. Now, remember that I said it was like 100 by 67 for these thumbnails. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a drag from this source to pick 6 thumb. This thumbnail is a little bigger. I didn't pay attention to that. That's what's going to happen. That's what it's going to look like. So in an effort to keep consistency, I tell you, make all of your thumbnails the exact same size. It makes it look nicer. I'm just going to do an undo, and I'm going to do a save. Now I'll go ahead and I'll preview this in Safari. Now they're my images. And I require no coding. That's the cool part. I like that. Come over here to this one. Come over to this one. And we're all set. Now, the only thing that I need to do from here, or that I would like to from here, is apply my own template to this. Let's see if that works. Having that set, I'm going to go ahead and minimize this. I'm going to minimize Fat Gallery. I'm going to grab my files. I'm going to put it back over here. And I'm going to expand my assets. I'll go ahead and I'll apply the template. And the template body content will go to the content area. And the head content is going to go over to the head area. I'll click OK. And now I'll do a file save. Previewing this in Safari, you're all set. Now you have yourself, in a relatively short amount of time, a Yahoo widget that gives you a slideshow. And the important part about this is no code whatsoever.